Okay, it's time to do the final Ascension, Ascension 20. Bringing 2 time watches and this to make them crit in the first room, to do percentage damage to morale. At level 3 it becomes 20%. And then got the dragon soldier buffing the power of the guy behind him, which could be either of these two. I just like how they attack the front with morale, so that in a worst case scenario the master, who also can attack the front with morale, can finish off a hero. And then silencing the heroes is good. It reduces the chance that the heroes counter you with their abilities. And this one does a bit more morale damage. And that rounds you out to a neat 1500 out of 1500. Which is quite satisfying. Let me use the morale in turn. Immediately get both of the time watches to doing 20% instead of 10%. Also, this artifact is terrible. I'm gonna restart the run. I'm happy to play a run, like, I'm not gonna restart if I have a neutral artifact, but if I have one that makes my front unit slower, that means if I put a time watcher there, he won't be able to, because his ability only hits people slower than him. That'll make my time watches worse, so we're not gonna do that. Alright, that's a really good one. One of Plenty is extremely good. Gives you crit, chance to crit, which also works with morale. Here's a kind of worthless artifact, but yeah, no, don't need that. So I'll level up my skeleton. Let's do some plundering since we're early in the run. Let's see, set a monster free. Sounds good to me. Didn't get the monster. We can afford to do a course. So the only bad thing about choosing course is that it could land, because it just randomly chooses one of your guys and lets you train them 2 levels, but they have to go away for a while in the course. But it could choose the vampire, who is pretty worthless for my strategy. But if there was ever a time to choose course, it would be now, while the vast majority of my monsters are core to my strategy. Yeah, okay, perfect. And yeah, this is fine. None of them have the morale recovery resting room, which is one of the main things to look out for, in my opinion. We could put that across so that we can have a full squad of creatures that do something morale related, at least. Okay, someone hits front, someone hits back. The person who hits front hits physical, the person who hits back hits fire. This guy, that's kind of awkward. One is, anyway, we care about the time watchers more than the girl, so since the time watchers have decent fire resistance, he can get hit by the fire. She can get hit by the physical. silence. What I could do here is just throw away the vampire, because I'm pretty confident I'm going to win this fight anyway, so I could just put like the vampire at the front. Yeah, that's fine. She'll be alright. Probably not the best way to do that last one, but I think I'll be fine. So here I could slow this one at the back so that the other Time Watcher can hit all three. I might do that. Or I could just go for, since this is the first fight, their HP is so low, it's almost tempting to just go for the kill, the physical kill. But this guy at the front has such good armor. I'll stick with my morale strategy, I guess. Yeah. Slow them because I don't really have much better to do. Do the move. You always, if you have a chance to get one hero out, then you just do that. Like normally I might set them up by applying Terrified, which makes them lose more morale, and then do my big morale hit. But I won't bother doing that whole setup. If I can just immediately get a hero out, then I'll do it. Yeah, this is why I didn't really think too hard about the final monster room, because I'm pretty confident I'm gonna win regardless. I guess this one does something slightly supportive. Neither of them are really that good for a morale team. So here I could get this guy to tank for the front room as like a sub. I think I'll do that. Not much point renewing because I don't have any gold left to buy whatever I see in the renewal. This can be good because you can get stuff, you can get another artifact that makes burning enemies slower, which makes my Time Watchers better. That's sort of like if I get that, then this is good. What are the odds that I get that as well? Is it worth 14 weeks of no Time Watch, of one of my Time Watchers going away, compared to this? Less time away and some resources that I'll definitely, almost certainly get to use. Still early in the run, so I can afford to send everyone on business trips, I think. I don't care about the vampire, he can go on a business trip. That's nice. Let's just see how we're looking before I send more heroes away for a moment. So her job is to give guaranteed critical. This guy can give guaranteed critical to one guy. So he's sort of like a sub for her. She can give guaranteed critical to two, but he's perfectly fine as a substitute. See, like this, I could still afford to send one unit. I might just do an event, because if I get a bad plunder... Oh, what? He wants to buy my downside artifact. That's amazing. Okay, we can get another artifact. So he can just be like a throwaway. Like I'll just put him in whichever place the heroes are attacking the most. So we've got a front and a center. The front attacks. This guy here doesn't like fire, but he's good at tanking nature, so I'll put him in the middle. This guy gives guaranteed critical to the back, so it's like that. And then I'm not going to think too hard about this room, just boost the power of the ghost and move on, because I'm pretty confident I'm going to win anyway. It's mostly about the first room, and see, this guy scrambled the order, but the applying critical to the guy at the back already happens, which is one of the reasons I don't pay too much attention to that. You don't really have to make the absolute most perfect choices. You just have to, in general, you just have to ensure that your first monster group does something. Like contributes something. And then the heroes probably won't be able to get through your entire dungeon, which is how you lose. The intern gets more and more enraged because of the passive. Each hero, his morale is under 75%. Very nice. So he does even more damage to their morale. I guess the real challenge of this run, this is kind of tempting actually, silence everything. Yeah, silence everything for longer. I like that. Double silence. And it also means that I only need to have one trap, so I can lease out my other trap for money. How are we looking? This Time Watcher is on his last legs, and I still don't have the other Time Watcher back. It's kind of awkward. A bad plunder could really set me back even further. So I'll just do events. Sacrifice. No, I need my ghost. I need my creatures. I need more creatures actually. Don't want to sell my creatures. Here, because I'm using a morale build, and when the heroes run away, they give you tears, but when they die, they give you blood. So even though I have more blood than tears right now, I'm going to get more tears in the future, so blood is a good choice. This is interesting. I usually don't do this sort of thing, but because my Time Watcher, I only have one Time Watcher who's on his last legs, this is a pretty good time to boost him up so that I can get another round out of him. Here we can make our master stronger. Ding ding. Our last line of defense. That's good that we yeah, see, we still don't have the second Time Watcher. Oh wait, yes we do, sorry. But I guess now that we're fighting a champion group, we have the option of using both of our Time Watchers. But I don't really have to. He can just rest, I think. It'll be fine. I think I can play greedily. Especially because this champion group doesn't have a campfire to recover their morale. Okay, nice. Yeah, none of them are faster than my Time Watcher. Front, back, back. 2 backs. So we could put this guy at the back where most of them are attacking, put the girl at the front, and put the Time Watcher in the middle where nobody is attacking. No need to really overthink it too much. And here, yeah, just boost this guy. At least level 4, this guy's level 2, so I'll boost the power of the higher level guy. And again, don't need to really overthink it too much, just chuck him in, it'll be fine. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Why did I think I was faster than everyone? Did I not read it correctly? Oh. Either way, it's totally fine because he's at the back. If he was the guy at the front, then I'd be a little bit more worried. Because it's just about, you know, getting, you want to get the first hero to flee as soon as possible, and a lot of my things only hit front. So I don't really mind the guy at the back being super high on morale, because soon he's going to be all in it all by himself and very isolated and unlikely to win on his own. This hero revives her dead allies, but if they run away, she obviously cannot revive them. That's interesting. This is kind of funny. I could make this happen. I could make this trigger twice, which would make the next trap trigger extra times as well, like a chain of multi-action. But I want to silence the heroes as soon as possible, so I'll take this dragon because he can boost the speed of the monster in front of him, which could be a Time Watcher to make the Time Watcher hit more enemies with his move. Here's a good time to do Trainer. Get the Ghost up. Yeah, get him up as well. Maybe this one, because she just does a flat morale attack to the one at the back. Like once the Time Watchers are doing 20%, it's not that necessary to level them up any further. I guess I can't do anything here. I'm a little worried because I don't have enough gold to give the intern what it might ask for. Yeah, I was worried about this. Yeah, I'm not willing to part with that. That's unfortunate. This is only for the next dungeon, but these are permanent upgrades to your intern, and I don't really want to. Yeah, I don't want to. It's tempting though, but I don't want to part with that artifact, so I can't get the permanent intern upgrade, unfortunately. How desperate are we for more monsters? We're kind of okay, but like another one could really take the pressure off a bit more. So sub out that Time Watcher for this Time Watcher, sub out the critical giver for that critical giver. Although, that's unfortunate. This guy makes the guy in front of him faster, which means that I can't put the Time Watcher at the back. Like, I can't have the Time Watcher work together with this dragon and this skeleton dog at the same time. He has to choose which one buffs him. But that's life. I can choose which one is best for the situation, I guess. Or I could just put this guy in as like cannon fodder, so that I'll just make it so that he benefits from the skeleton dog. Or I could put this guy in as cannon fodder. Yeah, I could buff the HP of the Time Watcher. That's pretty cool. It's fine. Don't need to overthink it. This is not like a... I think this was like a 3-star group, so I can send like a weaker team in and have my stronger configurations rest a bit. Let's see. This is annoying. They're both faster than the Time Watcher, so I really could have benefited. But at least the one at the front is slow. Okay, so front area. Front area is very nice though. So what I might do here, because they aim front area, I might have time to come back around to the Time Watcher. Like I could slow this guy and then hit both of the front 2 heroes. That might be what I end up doing. Rather than just hitting the front hero twice, I could slow middle and then hit the first 2. A little bit foolish of me to not buff the HP of the Time Watcher. I did not really think that one through. But that's okay. So can I be confident that he'll survive 2 rounds? He's gonna kill that. Then she's gonna do an area attack. Then, I don't know. I might just have to do that to make sure that he, because the worst case scenario would be the Time Watcher not getting to do anything at all. So I'll just do the safe thing and make sure that the Time Watcher does something, even though he might get 2 turns. You just have to avoid the possible scenario of just doing nothing. That's how the heroes can sometimes win, if they get through the first room unscathed because you greeted too hard for something. Nice. They both are morale. They're both relevant to morale. But this guy's probably nicer. Like every aspect of his abilities are useful. The other one has some irrelevant parts. So it would be nice to get like a backup Time Watcher maybe from the merchant or something like that. But I don't have that much money. I could just keep spamming events. It'll be fine. Ooh, here's a very good thing for us. And this isn't the worst either. This is also good. Protect your guy at the back from 1 hit, which is really nice for the Time Watcher. But this is just like a... I mean, they're both really good. These are like 2 of the best possible things to get. I'll go with this one because it has a chance of giving you speed, which could be like the difference maker. Like, if your Time Watcher comes in with speed buff, that could be the difference between being able to hit all the enemy heroes or none of the enemy heroes if you're really unlucky. I could alchemy some of the tears to blood, but it's fine. Do I desperately need to cheer up my creatures? No, not really. It's nice to choose workout because if you have some resources, you can guarantee a positive outcome. You can guarantee some kind of progress. That's nice because that's a nice conversion rate there to get some tears. Okay, so here the resting room gets rid of debuffs, which is not as bad as recovering their morale. And I get an artifact choice, which is pretty powerful, especially because I have a free artifact slot. So here we can sub out the critical giving guy with the full health critical healing guy. And here I could use, like, I can just chuck in all these because they're full health. I don't need to really decide immediately. I could even chuck that guy in. Then we can choose based on the heroes. Alright, so this guy's fast. He also dodges the first trap. The first dodges the activations of the first regular trap, so even though it triggers twice, he'll dodge all of it. Anyway, he's at the back, so who cares? But I could use this to make me faster, but he's at the back, so maybe I could save him for a more important moment. And we've got back ice, front physical. She doesn't mind being hit by ice too much. And he doesn't mind being hit by physical too much, so yeah, I'm happy with this. Silence people. Can't put a second trap because we're using that multi-action thing. And then don't need to think too hard about this one. Yeah. See, hitting the front too is more than enough. And she hits the one at the back anyway. Although it would be much nicer if she just hit the one at the front and got us closer to having only 2 heroes. But yeah. Time Watcher, very strong. It's like a kamikaze. I used to give them a dragon tank and try to get more turns out of the Time Watchers, but I kind of like just giving them crit and having them kamikaze a turn or two. Because it just normalizes your results. Like, instead of sometimes getting a really good first room, but sometimes a terrible first room, you always get like a decent first room. So you don't die, you don't outright die as often. He's about to get terrified by my master ability anyway, so I don't really have to terrify him. So this guy buffs the power of this guy, so he hits very hard. Neither of them are that great. The Aegis is kind of interesting because I have an artifact that gives me random bonuses, and then if one of those random bonuses is enraged, then Aegis can do something. But yeah, not really the most powerful thing ever. Here I can siege. Oh, it doesn't give me 2 choices. Oh, I can't even deny this. I shouldn't have clicked this. I have to give away my silence. For how long? 7 days? 7 weeks, I mean. Do I want to do a course? Like, it could land on something I don't care about at all. I have quite a few of those. I might just keep doing events, honestly. money. Okay, here's a champion group that also has a morale recovery resting room, and it gives you a rare monster, which I don't really care about that much. So I'm gonna do this one because it has the least helpful resting room, and I have plenty of monsters at this point, I think. Put in this guy. So I always have one Time Watcher and one guy to give him critical, guaranteed critical. Then I'm pretty happy. Two fast guys. And also applies dodge. I might not give critical, I might just give speed. What do they hit? Center, front, area. He doesn't mind getting hit by fire, so yeah, we'll go here. And I guess he can give himself critical and do his howl thing to do a little bit of morale damage. Yeah. At least we'll get back the silence thing by the end of the dungeon. The real challenge of Ascension 20 is that there's 2 champion units in the final fight. I guess that's gonna be the real challenge. I haven't faced it yet. Yeah. So here at least I can hit the front too because of the speed buff from the dragon. And we can buff everybody. And we can howl. Let's see if the Time Watcher survives for another round. Nice. No, he doesn't. Oh, because the dragon died. I think what happened there, maybe the dragon died, so the Time Watcher was no longer fast. So he didn't get to move before he died. That's pretty interesting. This guy, initial duration of penalties received decreased by 1 turn. So even though I applied terrified, she's already not terrified. So I will not bother applying terrified. She got a dodge. Does this ricochet? Yeah, she dodges a ricochet as well. Nice. That's unfortunate. Both are things that I don't really want. Both are things that I don't really use at all. I might just choose this. It's really close because they both have the same argument, which is that, like, on the off chance that you end up doing more HP damage than morale damage, this option could come in handy, but that's true for both of them, sort of thing. And it's true that Enraged also buffs your morale damage, but I just always go with the Demoralized, the Terrified, applying the Terrified move, because that has an even greater effect, and it does flat. He does a flat damage to their morale when he does that move at the same time, which is pretty good. Okay, we're gonna do some very unrisky plunder here, I think. Like 35% chance for them to go away for 3 weeks. Because we're approaching... Oh wow, we got another Time Watcher, that's perfect. Because we're approaching the end of the dungeons. I mean, the end of the whole thing. So we don't want to have our creatures out of commission. So... yeah, I might just choose Engineer, because I don't even want to send... I don't want to send any of my guys on business trips. Interview... I don't have enough gold. Again, that's unfortunate. Maybe I should have chosen Workout, but that's okay. Merchant, because we're at full health, we don't need Doctor at all. I could buy something here. I don't really need to. This guy does do morale stuff, though. It's kind of a good backup, but... doesn't hurt. There could be some terrible disaster and I lose all my creatures or something. Have another backup. 15 weeks of increased resistances. That's nice. I have so many creatures that I could probably go to black market and sell one. Here, you get a lot of money, but you get food poisoning, and then later one of the events can kill one of your creatures, I think. So we can just ignore that and not be greedy. Let's turn some of our... we've got no blood, so let's just turn some of our tears into blood. That'll be fine. We do have one kind of useless, like somewhat bad artifact, so we could go for another artifact here. Do I have my trap back yet? Yeah, I've got my trap back. Yeah, let's get another artifact. You can have a rest, you can have a rest. You can have a rest. You don't belong in the second room. Let's go. What have we got? Everybody's pretty slow. This guy gives 2% of all heroes maximum morale back at the start of each turn. That's quite good against me. There isn't anything too dramatic other than that. And they hit front and front. So I could... what do they hit with? Fire and ice? I don't... like, the strongest thing would be both of the Time Watchers, but I don't really have to make them both tired. I could just make one of them tired and probably still win this. So maybe I'll just chuck someone in to tank. Although that guy's ability is kind of annoying. So maybe that is a reason to... but he will get silenced very shortly. Ah, yeah. It's interesting, like, tanking up in this room means that the heroes have more turns to use this passive before I silence them. So it might be good to just kamikaze and then immediately silence. Let's just do that. You can kind of make an argument for everything. Everything has some downsides and upsides. The main thing is just avoiding the possibility of complete disaster as much as possible. You don't have to do the strongest thing every time, you just have to avoid the possibility of a complete disaster as much as possible. This is kind of overkill. But I have 3 time watches now, right? Yeah, because I got an extra time watcher, so using 2 of them is more okay than it was before when I only had 2 time watches. Is this gonna make some of them run away? That would be crazy. No. Close. They didn't even get to the intern. Oh, this is very strong. Like, this is good too. This is very new, by the way. I think I unlocked it for doing some kind of stage of Ascension Mode. I've never used it before. But here, make the time watcher at the front faster is very nice. Event. Get some blow. Do we want to do that? I might just refuse. Just in case some crazy stuff happens. The most valuable thing really is like their fatigue levels at this point. We're almost at the end. Just secure the final room, being able to deploy. So we could make an argument that we should avoid random events that might knock our important heroes out of commission. You could kind of make that argument at this point. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, here's the final battle. They do get a morale recover. Oh, that's bad. So this is the unique thing about the final Ascension tier, Ascension 20, is that there's 2 champion units instead of just 1. And they get a morale resting room. So we'll have 2 time watches and this one available. Maybe the speed up dragon as like a backup idea. Yeah. Okay, what have we signed up for here? Stuns people if she has any debuffs. Is okay. Applies dodge at the start of each fight. So this guy's fast and applies dodge. So the annoying thing about him is even if you put a time watcher at the front to make him fast enough to hit this guy, he's still going to dodge that first hit, and then the time watcher's probably going to die. So the time watcher speeding him up might not do anything, especially because this guy's going to hit front. He might kill the Time Watcher. No, but I'm gonna silence everyone anyway. What am I talking about? So there is gonna be no dodging. They're all gonna be silenced. So I think I do want to put a speedy Time Watcher at the front to make sure I do something to all of them. We can just go, and then they're gonna get the campfire. Front area back, so maybe this one at the back. I think this is fine. Back, physical damage. Yeah, that's fine. They're both level 4 now. I still kind of like buffing this guy, because that's minus 60, that probably is going to ricochet. That's minus 75, that doesn't ricochet. Alright, so he's fast enough to hit everybody. Oh yeah, the guy at the back is also very fast. And unfortunately I can't slow down the guy at the back with this Time Watcher. This Time Watcher's too slow to do that, so my only real choice there is to just do one more hit. Okay. Debuffs. Terrified. I don't see why not. They're still silenced, which is amazing. So he still hasn't applied dodge at the start of the fight. Very nice. Big hit, big ricochet. So this guy's gonna stun the ghost, which is okay. Do I get another turn of Psycho Imps? Yes, I do. Very nice. Yeah, that wasn't too hard. I didn't lose a single Ascension. The strategy is just too strong.